Welcome back to the We Are City channel for the FC25 Rebuild Career Mode here with Manchester City, and some big news to kick off today's episode. We can confirm officially as a club that John Stones has left Manchester City. John Stones is gone, a club legend, someone who has reinvented the game, I suppose, in that centre-back midfield role, which wasn't a thing, I don't think, really, until he did it massively in the treble season. He's been so key for Manchester City, but his time is up. The injuries have been too much, and Manchester City have decided it's time for them to part ways. He's not going to be offered a new contract because he's got 1 year left on his deal. City wanted a bit of money for John Stones, and unfortunately, it does mean that John Stones does leave Manchester City and does move on away from the club. Thank you, John Stones, for all he's done for the club. He's been an absolutely massive player. He's joined Fulham on a permanent deal, and that is his time at Manchester City completely over. What a player, what a legend, and what a star he has been for this Manchester City side. He moves around, they pay just under 30 million euros for him. It's a reasonable fee for someone with his injury history and his injury record, and really, we don't doubt John Stones' quality. That is not something we doubt at all. But John Stones' availability certainly has been an issue. And it was an issue just one step too far last season. It's been gone on for a long time. I mean, statistically, John Stones has never started 8 games in a row in all his time at Manchester City. And it was time to say goodbye to John Stones and everything he's done for the club. And that is a massive goodbye to him, because he is a club legend. I absolutely love him. I didn't really want to sell him. I think actually I favour John Stones over Ake in terms of the player itself, himself, the person maybe. I mean, both are absolutely brilliant people, I'm sure of that. But Nathan Ake being left-footed and being a little less injured than John Stones, only a little bit less, was what swayed it. John Stones, thank you. He leaves Manchester City. Well, opening day defeat leaves us down in 17th place. And one of the sides who could be battling for the Premier League title this year is Arsenal. Arsenal once again going for that title alongside Liverpool. And Arsenal, the side we face, they won their opening game, I think, or drew their opening game, in fact. Chelsea currently top on 6 points, the only side to win their opening 2 games. List aside for Arsenal today, with City dropping their new signings and fullbacks, but we have seen a new signing come in. Ederson comes into that midfield, new signing, his debut for the team, and Jeremy Frimpong finds himself on the bench. So Costa will start in goal. It's a back 4 of Akanji, Diaz, Kusanov and Vardiol. Diaz and Vardiol back. City playing 4 strong centre-backs there. Rodri captains the midfield and partners alongside new signing Ederson. Is Doku on the left, Savinho on the right, and Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush the front attacking line. The trident there, those 3, with whoever drifted inside. Today, the wingers are going to stay nice and wide, and Marmoush is going to find those pockets in around Erling Haaland. On the bench, we've got Oscar Bova returning, Phil Foden, Xavi Simons. We've got Nico Gonzalez, Adam Wharton, Cambiasso, Frimpong and Rico Lewis. 3 fullbacks who can make a difference. Midfielders and attacking players all over the field, which is good to see. Stefan Ortega also on that bench. Hopefully, a better performance, better defensive performance we're putting against Nottingham Forest. Well, there is the Arsenal dressing room. This is like their biggest game of the season, playing Manchester City. They think it's their final. For City, we want to win the league title again this year and get back to winning ways. Winning at Arsenal today will be better than the start we've had against Forest, but we might have a slow start and then pick up. I don't expect us to have a really quick start to the season. Well, here at the Emirates, which will be an absolutely hostile, massively hostile atmosphere here. A hatred amongst the club, the players and the fans, and probably even the manager for Manchester City from this Arsenal collective. They will want to beat City with everything they've got just because it's Manchester City. Even if they finish second in the league, they win the We Beat Man City trophy. That is what they are playing for. We're playing for titles this year. And it's going to take some time, I think, for this team to gel together. It's going to take some time for us to be the side we want to be this year. But I do think we'll find that area at some point. Usually it happens to Manchester City around the February time, where we just start to hit a run. I think that will come, and we're going to be stuttering at the start of this one and start the season very slow, especially the Club World Cup just finishing, losing so many big players. And look at that for Arsenal. Somehow, Arsenal have managed to sign, at the end of his contract, Virgil van Dijk from Liverpool. That is incredible. That is a shocking signing which I've missed. He captains the side. Liverpool fans, your legend, your club captain, has moved to Arsenal. I honestly never expected that. Let's see how this Arsenal side do line up then for Mikel Arteta with this addition of Virgil van Dijk. I think they did lose William Saliba. So David Rice starts in goal. It's White, Van Dijk, Gabriel and Calafiori in the back 4. Merino, Rice and Odegaard in midfield 3. Martinelli, Saka and Havertz the front 3. It's a very similar side. Luka Modric, Gabriel Jesus, Pau Kubasi also on the bench. What a sign he is. So Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is their big grudge match of the season. This is their final. Like we said, they want to beat City no matter what. We're going to make sure we have a good start here today. Play our best football, really. Back out to Jeremy Doku against Ben White today, who's made a big challenge, but he's left himself open. And here's Erling Haaland, and he needs some support, Haaland. Not quite coming. It's a nasty challenge by Ben White. Oh, into Marmoush. And Marmoush might be able to get a shot off here. Van Dijk just gets a foot in. Into Haaland. Back to Rodri. Haaland again. Haaland. Through to Savinho. Savinho to the far post, and Marmoush arriving. Good defending by Van Dijk. Savinho. Savinho. Against Calafiori. Spun Calafiori. Really good play. And then he plays Marmoush, who's drifting to wide here. Marmoush. And a ball towards Haaland here. And back out to Marmoush. And in towards Savinho, who's gone past Calafiori again. Savinho. Across the box. Doku is there. Sid sliding the box with Odegaard. Was that not a foul, referee? You need to cut back there, maybe. Martinelli. Oh, ball in behind Akanji and Diaz and Kusanov again. And City in trouble here. And here's Kai Havertz. And Kusanov. What a challenge by the defender. Falls back to Mikel Merino, who drags his shot wide. But what a challenge by Kusanov. Back to Rodri. Ederson. And Rodri's pass. Too light from Rodri. Ederson left with too much to do. Havertz. Wide for Martinelli. Chased by Akanji. Gabriel Martinelli goes. Problem is the pace and the counter, isn't it? Havertz with a header. It falls to Saka, who puts it wide. That was a good chance for Saka. Savinho into Ederson again. He makes the run slightly. They don't play the pass well enough in behind to him. Marmoush gets out to help us, but Kai Havertz is in here. And Kai Havertz the chance. The great save by Costa and Doku into Ederson. The game is becoming a little bit open and stretched here. City give it back again there through Omar Marmoush. Saka. Needs to get all this game, City. Havertz back to Saka. Saka! He does score. Game is too open. And Omar Marmoush gives it away. And it's 1-0 Arsenal. Just keep giving the ball away. Can't get hold of the game. Can't get control of it. And if you want to play this way, this suits Arsenal. And Bukayo Saka beats Costa to score. He's made some good saves there, the keeper. He's not saving that one. Oh, that's brilliant from Doku. Oh, horrible from Ben White. Not for the first time on Jeremy Doku. And that's got to be a red card for Ben White. No intention to play the ball. It's only a yellow. It's a disgrace. Horrible challenge. It's a red card, that, all day long. A half-time substitution for Manchester City. It's going to be a debut for Jeremy Frimpong, who comes on for City, for Manu Akanji. Right to Savinho. Marmoush. Space for Marmoush here. First time of the game he's had to run the opposition, Marmoush. And he pings one wide here towards Frimpong, who making his debut here. Jeremy Frimpong. Good play by him. Frimpong. Marmoush. Could fall to Haaland. What a challenge by Van Dijk. Did fall to Haaland. What a challenge by Van Dijk. Look at Frimpong working hard to get back on this right-hand side. Against Martinelli, he's been beaten. He's quick, he'll try and work hard to get back here, Frimpong. Martinelli through. Across the far post. Vardiel away, only as far as Kai. Havertz! And he drags his shot wide, Havertz. Over top to Haaland, it's a good ball. Haaland's there. Haaland's there! Saved by Riot. Behind for a corner. I didn't know if Gabriel or Saliba or Van Dijk is would catch him. Corner ball. Foden. Haaland. Against Luka Modric, who's not going to get across to him. Ederson here. Ederson certainly can carry a ball, can't he, through midfield, and he goes into Haaland here. Haaland. In behind to Foden. Phil Foden's in. Phil Foden! 1-1! City equalise the Emirates. And it's Phil Foden off the bench to score for Manchester City. I'm hoping he is back to Phil Foden this season. I'm hoping he's back to the real Phil Foden this season. What a ball in behind by Erling Haaland. Foden finds a space and scores and equalises. 1-1. Come on. Good ball through by Erling Haaland. Turns creator, turns provider. That's a nice finish by Foden. We like him in and around the box with Marmoush. Finds that bit of space. Finds that opportunity. Finds the back of the net. There's Phil Foden. Very good finish. You see that means to Pep Guardiola to see his side equalise at the Emirates. 1-1. Really bad pass really in the end. And here's Arsenal counter again here. Oh, look at this. This is such a joke. One bad pass and we're punished. One bad pass and we are cut open. Same against Forest, it happened before. One bad pass and that's it, you're open. And there's nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. Havertz scores 1-1. And I think actually it was Marmoush's pass against Forest as well, which has cost us. So that is starting to be a bit of a common theme in this City side. Marmoush mistakes, Haaland. All around the corner. Savinho! 2-2! And City respond. And it's Savinho off that left-hand side who just seems to be able to hit the ball so much better from the left than from the right. When he comes in for that right-hand side and has to try and swing it in, he's really poor. But from the left-hand side, he just seems to strike the ball so much better. And he does here. And it's Haaland with another assist, by the way. And Savinho catches this one. And he catches it so well. And he rifles it into the top corner past David Raya. City in front. We should be, but it's 2-2. We're going to make changes here. Marmouche is going to come off here for Xavi Simons. I think it's made a big impact on this right side. Jeremy Frimpong, and he's off here. Frimpong into Simons, and back through to Frimpong here. And Frimpong with the ball in. And Erling Haaland is there, and it's great defending by Van Dijk. Edison back out. Oh, he can't find Frimpong. An Arsenal counter in the transition where they get us, and Vardiel's on his heels. And here's Saka. And Bukayo Saka and Kristanov's got to defend well here. Save there, and Frimpong away at the far post and behind foot. A throw in. Foden here for Manchester City. Foden against Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk tackles him really well, gives it away to Vardiel. Full time the Emirates. It's only 2-2, but it's a point for City. It's a draw away at Arsenal. I think if we are going to be building up to a title inside this season, certainly Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's side, are going to compete for that title with us. We got caught twice in poor situations. I thought we were the better side, but there's certainly a lot of positive takes on that one. Jeremy Frimpong had a really good debut. A really, really good debut when he came on. Unfortunately for Jeremy Doku, that injury he did pick up in the previous game at the Emirates. He's going to rule him out for 4 weeks. That's like a month out with any injury for Doku. I mean, again, another injury-prone player that has got so much quality, but unfortunately his injuries might just hamper his City career. Well, with Makoko from Eintracht Frankfurt picked him up from Dortmund. I think he's replacing maybe Marmouche or replacing Etitike, I think has left the club. Other transfers that have gone around in the world of football. Real Sociedad signed Pavlovic from Bayern Munich. That's a big, big transfer for them. Talk about Nico playing there. Satalo has moved from Ajax to Fiorentina. And some other big moves in the transfer market. There's been plenty, haven't they, over this window. Kovar to Fulham from Bayer Leverkusen, a new goalkeeper for them. And who else has been moved? Mikel Gutierrez now being linked with Newcastle as well. He's certainly one of the hottest prospects at left back. And in this transfer window, surely he's going to leave Girona. Well, for 2 Premier League games, Manchester City find himself all the way down in 17th position at 1 point. United down in 19th as well. Both Manchester clubs not having a great start to the season. 1 point from 2. Up next is AFC Bournemouth. Away from home, I think, or at the Etihad, a side that we need to be picking up 3 points against, especially if we are a team that we're wanting to win the league this year. I mean, I think it's going to be a real battle for the league title. I don't know who the challengers are. I'd say Arsenal are, but at the moment it's Villa at the top. They've got a perfect record so far. Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs in there as well. Liverpool, I expect Arne Slot's side to be back up there again this season. Everyone seems to have a bit of a slow start who's expected to do really well. This aside for Bournemouth today, and goal starts to Yo Costa. Jeremy Frimpong comes in for his first start after a really good impact at the Emirates. Kusanov partners Diaz at the back line, and Vardiel drops out for Andrea Cambiasso to make his start. It's the first time since he played against Bournemouth, against Nottingham Forest at home. He wasn't very good, but he's in there for Bournemouth today. Roger Edison partner against one in the midfield. I mean, Nico could have come in there today. Adam Water could have come in. We've got Edison and Roger again, a bit more power in that midfield. We know the energy that they have, this Bournemouth side. Simon starts off the right. He's going to drift inside with Frimpong coming around the outside of him. Savinho, who scored fantastically off that left against Arsenal, starts on the left. Of course, Jeremy Doku is out now, so James McAtee comes in and his space left on the bench. And Foden's going to play today. Marmouche's dropped out. Foden's going to play, it's -6, but in that sort of false 9 rod, like him to be able to play there in alongside Haaland. We've basically lined up this 4-2-4 because of the pressing shape, but when in possession, it's more of a sort of a 2-3-5-1 at times, or whatever you want to call it. It does move about, but I think Foden, that goal against Arsenal, shows he's getting goals again, so we've got to get him in that side alongside Haaland up top. Simons as well. I think these two have combined really well together, especially Frimpong as well. Etihad Stadium, Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth, one of the surprise packages of the Premier League last season, weren't they? Find themselves very high up the table, and Edoni Iraola proved to be one of the top managers in world football. What he managed to achieve with his Bournemouth side. I'm sure they've had changes made to them. We've actually got one of our players who I want to be part of the squad probably from next season, Jumabar. He is on loan at Bournemouth. Whether he starts there against us, I don't know. Sometimes that does happen in the game. They don't stop them from playing. But this City side's strong enough to beat Bournemouth. We've had a bit of a shaky start. We've had a defeat and a draw so far. Draw away at the Emirates, a defeat at home to Nottingham Forest. But the City side, we're in the rebuild. We're still gelling. This might end up being another transition season, which I hope not. But there's a possibility to be that with all these new players added to the team. Let's see how Bournemouth line up to face us today. From what I know, this could be a Bournemouth side a little bit decimating the transfer window by clubs coming and taking some of their best players. Neto is back in goal, returning his loan from Arsenal. It's Hill, Senesi, Soler and Smith, the back line. Christie and Cook in the midfield too. Traore, Kluivert, and also Semenyo manages to stay around. Evanilson up top, but it is a bit of a changed team. That man's to look out for, Kluivert. Torrid pass from Erling Haaland as well. First time passes really aren't the way. Got to hold the ball up and play it. And here's Kluivert bursting away from Frimpong. The ball into the box here. It's a free header for Evanilson. A good save by Costa. Got space for Frimpong if we can find him. Edison into Haaland here. Tries to flick his way around Hill. Following the sliding challenge. It's brought away by Bournemouth. And again, teams only want one thing to do, and that is to hit us in transition every time. Evanilson tries to do so. Cristiano has lost him for the middle. Evanilson. Diaz is in there. Great challenge by Ruben Diaz. More than a yard off the pace. He's about 10 yards off the pace at the moment, Rodri. Into Haaland. And again! Haaland this time. So slow to hold up the ball. Trying to pounce a mistake there, City with a good press, but the press isn't good enough. And towards Semenyo. Edison putting him under pressure. In behind here to Evanilson, who drags it wide of the post. Edison in towards Cambiasso. Over the top here. Haaland is there! Down in the middle at Neto. What a ball by Cambiasso from fullback. Traore. Oh, Kusanov has been absolutely done there by Traore. And Traore! What a finish. 1-0 Bournemouth. Kusanov there dropped by the quick feet of Traore. Really quick feet. And then he plays himself through. Costa, I mean, what a finish that is. Into the top corner. 1-0 down again. This time to Bournemouth. This City side certainly have started the season slowly. I mean, probably 3 defeats. Oh, it feels like that Arsenal game felt like a defeat, maybe. Not a good start to the season by City as Edison gives it away again. And Pep Guardiola, I'm sure, has got his head in his absolute hands here on the sidelines. As Bournemouth, City could pounce the mistake here. Phil Foden, he's got through here. Foden! Oh, over the bar by Foden. It's so bad. Why didn't he go with the left foot? Why didn't he go with the left foot like I asked him to? That was a lifeline there for City. A big mistake we could have pounced upon. Simmons. And the ball through to Jeremy Frimpong here and bursts away the fullback. Frimpong. Haaland. Back through to Frimpong. Frimpong. Back to Haaland who squares it. And squares it wide the post here. That should be 1-1. Good play from Frimpong here. Simons. Well, he's done well in the end. Back to Simons. Through to Haaland. He's in again here, Erling Haaland. Haaland's in again. Surely this time, right to the goalkeeper by Erling Haaland. Well, he's firing the goals in for fun in the FIFA Club World Cup. But you get him on a Premier League pitch and he's terrible. Offside against Evanilson. Edison in there, giving away to Savinho. Big switch towards Xavi Simons here. Who takes it? Simons. He's fouled there, referee. Nothing given. Nothing given. What chance have I got? What chance have I got, ref? No point. Because he can't run away when he's being fouled. Diaz. Oh my God! 2-yard pass. Given away by Diaz. Katara's in behind here. Good save by the keeper. And away. Absolutely second to everything, Rodri. Savinho. Through to Haaland. He's off from Hill here. Haaland. Haaland maybe this time. Haaland this time. 1-1. Assist for Savinho. Come on. Haaland scores this time. He has been so wasteful today, Erling Haaland. This time he's playing the holds off Hill. No chance of stopping him. It's a good finish by Erling Haaland. 1-1. He's second of the Premier League season, I think. 2 assists in the game against Arsenal. His numbers are not bad, but they should be better. Interesting change. Foden. Need support, need runners. Marmouche decides against it. Foden. Cambiasso. Savinho. Haaland. Foden. Foden! Why the post by Phil Foden? Foden. Frimpong in his best. Marmouche pressing. Foot in there. Marmouche. Get there. Ref! How are we not getting there? We're just so weak in everything. Every 50-50, every battle. We've brought in Edison, who's the most all-round midfielder I can see on the game. In world football, in terms of aggression, everything. And he's not winning 50-50s. Full-time 1-1 against Bournemouth. And to say I'm frustrated is an understatement. I am so annoyed with this side. We've got to be better. So much better. With transfer deadline day approaching, pretty much we aren't going to be making any more moves or any departures, big departures anyway. So this is how our rebuild transfers looked, and this is a really interesting graphic I managed to put together. The signings we made, the top 10 major signings, players that left major players anyway, not fees anyway for some of them, and then the total overall. So the signings coming in, Xavi Simons joined from RB Leipzig for €80 million fee. We see Diogo Costa coming for €75 million. That was an activation of his release clause. Adam Wharton for €55 million from Crystal Palace. Andrea Cambiasso joins from Juventus for €50 million. Ederson from Atalanta for €45 million. And then finally, Jeremy Frimpong, his release clause of €40 million was triggered. And Loris Karius on a free transfer. All big signs that come to Manchester City. A total of €345 million spent. We said we had a £300 million budget. We spent $389 million. So we actually spent a little bit less than our budget. And we've managed to really rejuvenate this Manchester City side. There's a little bit of money left over. Maybe if we look to try and bring in some future stars in January, that tends to be what City like to do in the January window. Bring in some future stars. As outgoing to the top 10 major ones were Jack Grealish, our biggest sale of the summer. €55 million to Spurs. Ederson joins Al Ittihad for €42 million. Matheus Nunes to Bournemouth for €38 million is in the top 3. Bernardo Silva rejoins Benfica for €35 million. Mateo Kovacic to Al Hilal for €33 million. John Stones to Fulham for €28 million. And then 4 free transfers saw De Bruyne go to San Diego FC in the MLS. İlkay Gundogan go to Turkey Galatasaray. Scott Carson moved to AC Milan on a free transfer. And then, Kyle Walker. Finally, Scott Carson, he retired. So we brought in €270 million. That's around £226 million, meaning it was a minus £75 million spend this summer. £63 million they're spent as well in pounds and euros, the way to work it out. That's the way I've done it in pounds as well, so you guys understand it if you're from the UK. But yeah, 288 million spent, or 89 million spent. I think for what we've managed to do, the 7 signings managed to make, or 6 major signings, that is a massive overall of the squad. And I think we've done it in a realistic way. We've spent money realistically. We've moved players on for fees that I think are realistic as well. And I'm very excited to what this squad can do now going into the season. Yes, we started a little bit slow with a few of the games. But one thing we've got to do now before we end the episode is meet the full squad for the new season. The 25-26 man squad that we've built that hopefully can once again win big silverware with Manchester City. This is the squad for the new season, starting off with the 3 goalkeepers this year. Stefan Ortega Moreno will be our number 2 for the season. Loris Karius, new sign on the free transfer, wearing the number 35, will be our 3rd choice goalkeeper. The Scott Carson replace him. And number 1 for this season is the new man, €75 million signed Diogo Costa. He is going to be our 1st choice goalkeeper, of course. And there is big expectations, big shoes to fill with that of Ederson. But I think Diogo Costa certainly has the quality to do so. On to now the defenders. Starting off with the defenders, our number 3, Ruben Diaz, who is the vice-captain for this season. We've got number 4, Joško Vardiol, who was changed from number 24 for this season. The number he wore for Croatia. I think he's wore that for Croatia quite a time. And also Nathan Ake wearing the number 6. 3 solid defenders there. That continues with some new players as well. So number 12, Jeremy Frimpong, our new right back. He will wear the number 12 shirt. Rico Lewis takes the number 21 shirt for the season, just like Philipp Lahm wore for Germany and Bayern Munich, because he is the new Philipp Lahm, you could say, hoping that he can actually get quite a lot of games in the season. And number 22, Victor Heis, makes up the next 3 defenders, but we've got 3 more defenders in the side in terms of fullbacks and defenders, with a couple of more new signs, because it is Manuel Akanji wearing the number 25 for the season. Andrea Cambiasso, our new right back, left back signed from Juve, will wear the number 27 shirt. And then finally, a man who I think is in for a very big season here at Manchester City, and I think could play a really big part in our season. It is Abu Kodir Kusanov, number 45, that which Mario Balotelli wore, of course. He, I think, is going to play a big role. Onto the midfielders now, starting off with our new number 8, Adam Wharton. He's the lowest squad number in the number 8 role. All of these players with new numbers, of course, they are new signings. He's signed for €55 million. We've got Xavi Simons there, the new Kevin De Bruyne for this side. The number 10 for Manchester City this season, taking it from Jack Grealish. He signed for €80 million from RB Leipzig. He's going to play a big role, I'm sure, this season. And also, number 13, our new midfield maestro, maybe, but more midfield engine, midfield powerhouse in Ederson, signed from Atalanta. He is number 13 for the season. Next to the midfield, we've got number 14, Nico Gonzalez, who's going to play a big role, of course, in that midfield. He's signed in January. He's got his chance to really impress in that time. He might find himself playing alongside the number 16, Rodri, who's back this year. He's back to be the best midfielder in the world of football. Rodri's back and he is going to be our captain this season. Rodri will be captain and we'll have Diaz and then Erling Haaland as vice captains. That's the way I want things to go. So Rodri is number one. He's the captain. Ruben Diaz and also Erling Haaland as the vice captains. And then we also have Nico O'Reilly, who's taken the number 24, following on of Joško Vardil. He can play in that left back role, but the intention is to play more in midfield this year. Hopefully this is more of a breakthrough season for Nico O'Reilly, and hopefully Pep Guardiola himself can put a little bit more trust in Nico O'Reilly and play him in a few more games, because we haven't been so trusting of him, have we, so far? And I think we need to do. And the fact that he can play at fullback as well, playing that role, which has been impressive. Yes, we've brought in new fullbacks, but there'll still be chancing to impress. I think he'll mainly play like maybe Stefan Ortega and maybe a few others in the FA Cup games. But he does take the number 24 shirt, which shows our intentions for him this season. Next to midfield, we also have attacking players, really. James McAtee will take number 28, like he wore at Sheffield. Big hopes for him this season. Claudio Echeverri wearing the number 30, which is in honour of, obviously, Lionel Messi. Hopefully, he can be involved more this season as well than he is expected to be in the FA Cup games and so on. And then Phil Foden, number 47, and high hopes of Phil Foden. I'm expecting this to be Phil Foden's return to greatness this season. He was Player of the Year only the season before. He'd been very poor last year, but I'm hoping that this season is the one where Phil Foden is well and truly back. And then finally, we go on to the forwards for the season. The forwards for the season, number 7, Omar Marmoush, who I think is going to have a big season. I think he's going to compete with Erling Haaland for top assists and top goals this year. Our vice captain, or one of our vice captains this season, is Erling Haaland, the striking Viking, the number 9, who has got a 10-year contract. Big year for him to continue to try and break goal records. And then we have number 11, Jeremy Doku, who hopefully can kick on. We know his ability to beat a man, we know his dribbling ability, but when it comes to finishing, that final ball, that chance creation, that final pass, that finish, he needs to work on this season. Otherwise, maybe his future is in a bit of trouble. And then finally, our final two forwards and our full squad complete is the number 20 this year. Taking number 20 was number 52 last year. It is Oscar Bob taking that number. We saw Bernardo Silva. He could have been a midfielder as well, but I include him as a forward. Number 20, showing his faith from Pep Guardiola in him. And finally, number 26, who will also have, I'm sure, a fantastic season. It is wide man Savinho, who has developed. He's had a season under Guardiola now. What can he do in this season? Thanks for watching, by the way. That ends today's episode. Please do like the video if you're not already. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to see these extended episodes early, then join the We Are City Members Club. That is the full spending done. There might be a player leave on loan deadline day at the start of the next episode. But that's the way the squad's going to be looking. The full first team squad for the season. That's what we've built. Before was what the money we spent. I'm excited for it. What can we win this season? Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think of the signings we've made? Let us know in the comments below. And should we have maybe kept one of those players that left? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll see you guys next time.